We are talking about training without a coach. Now, this would come in many different forms. It could be you're just trying to get good at striking sports, but you don't have access to a good coach, so you're doing most of the training by yourself. It could be, okay, I have a coach, but I like to do some training at home. It could be I have a coach and he's not able to come and watch me spar when I go to other gyms. There's many ways that not having a coach around affects us, and I don't want to say I'm victim to it because a lot of it is choice, but for a long time I have not had a coach and I've had to do many things that I want to share with you, because most people say without a coach you can't be successful. Kind of prove them wrong, but there are many things that we can do to assist ourselves. So let's get all that covered today, because this is just a very real thing that we need to address, as many people out there don't have access to a coach all the time. You don't have somebody who can hold pads for you or come and watch you spar all the time, but we still want to improve. Before we get to that, I want to let everybody know we are down to the last day to join my defense course and get $50 off, big savings, in thanks for hitting 300,000 subscribers. You can hit the link down there, jump on that before it's gone. So, of course, having a coach is ideal. You can stand here and throw your shots and think you're doing one thing and have somebody over there see you do something that you didn't realize. That's why we have them, right? An extra set of eyes. If you're not able to have somebody look at you all the time, what's an easy way to go about getting that extra set of eyes? Record yourself, right? Get the camera out, put it on, hit record, go back and watch on just basic things, right? You could start off in, if you're entry level, throwing my jab. Is my hand up? Is it down? Is it doing this? Is it doing that? If you're not able to throw shots and actually realize what's happening, then looking at yourself on video, fantastic way to improve. Now, as we start getting to the point where our skill level starts to improve, but we still want to train at home and we go, I'm worried about bad habits. Am I going to make mistakes? Well, when we train at home, I think this is a perfect time to be obsessive about your technique. And if you're obsessive, you're not going to diminish your skill level, you're actually going to improve it. So when you're at the gym, yeah, you can go 100%, you can put in hard rounds. You're going to make mistakes there, but you have somebody with those eyes on you. When you're at home, slow things down. Really go, I want the perfect jab. Every element of this jab is going to be dialed in. And you don't have to go that slow, but you also don't need to go home and go, I have to maintain that 100%. And I think that's a great way to balance the training. When you go, okay, my coach isn't around and I'm really worried, just slow it down. You should be good enough after even a month or two to understand what's wrong and right. And as long as you're going slow, to keep yourself from making giant errors. Now, here's the big problem. How do you go and spar without a coach? I've been doing it for a long time, and I have some boxing coaches on the island, not my coaches, but other guys' coaches. So I go to spar with somebody and I show up and they're like, who's cornering you today? I'm like, what do you mean? We're just sparring. And they're like, you should always have your coach with you. Well, I never have anybody watch me when I do my sparring. I, go over on a ferry ride to Vancouver and I get there and by myself, I spar. And generally the people I spar with have somebody in their corner, but not always. When you don't have somebody there in between rounds giving you advice, telling you what changes to make, saying, I want you to work on this, I want you to work on that, how do you go about improving? The big thing in my mind that you need to do is you need to challenge yourself. Not just go in and do these rounds and go, the only thing I'm trying to accomplish is beat the person across from me. That's it. That's the end of my goal. I'm not worried about one thing beyond that. I think that is limited, and I think without a coach, it's going to be detrimental to you. What is the alternative? We get in there, and we don't worry about how skill levels match up. I get in there, and I challenge myself in different ways. So I might go, you know what, this round, don't want him to approach me one time where I don't either back up or I throw my front kick. And I'll tell myself that in between rounds. Something new to work on. The next round I might go, my one goal is to land 3 or 4 really good fakes and then come around with a different technique and land clean. Next round I might be like, you know what? This one, I don't want one clean shot to land on me. Now, of course, if you can dial all that in and do it all at once, that's great. But if you're sparring with somebody who's somewhat equal in skill level, you can't do everything perfect. But if you really put focus and intent on 1 or 2 things, you should be able to improve in those areas. And that is exactly what a good coach should be doing. They should not be giving you 5, 6 things in between rounds to work on. It's too much, it's overwhelming. 1 or 2 things. You can create these asks by yourself. And from there, you're going to be going, oh, okay, I am making small improvements. It might not be the perfect ideal thing versus that sparring partner. Maybe they would say, you know, everything that I just mentioned before, that's not important. I want you to exploit his leg because he's too heavy. Start chopping away on it. And you don't bother with that, or you don't clue in. Well, yeah, okay, it's not ideal for that sparring partner, but again, we're not trying to beat that sparring partner. That's not the end game. The end game when you go for sparring is to get better, to improve your timing, your defense, your combinations, so many different elements. So I do believe you can do very well without a coach. Having one, of course, is more ideal, but we don't all have access to it, whether it be where we live, restrictions in availability of coaches. Sometimes we don't have the money for coaches. There are so many things that we can do to improve by ourselves. And that's one of the big reasons I put together that defense course. I knew in general that so many people are not getting proper defense training and don't have a coach to teach them. So I went, this is perfect. This will help everybody so much. The feedback that we've got on that course is just amazing. There's such good feedback. So many people going, yes, I finally understand what I'm supposed to be doing, not offensively, but on the other side. And remember, offense, defense, it's 50% on each side. They're both equally as important. I might even put the edge on defense just because you don't want to take too many shots. But yes, there's always this struggle of, I don't have a coach, and without my coach, how am I going to improve? I think if you stop worrying so much about it, go in, dial everything in as best you can, watch videos, look at other fighters who have beautiful technique, try and emulate them, put a camera on yourself, go, oh, how do I look compared to these other guys? I want a perfect round kick. Go watch Buakaw. Look at that beautiful round kick. Try and simulate that round kick. Record yourself, compare it, note what you have to do to change it up. You be your own coach, and it'll take you very far. Might not be as good, again, as having somebody there just telling you right offhand, like, oh, that's wrong, oh, that's wrong. Like, that's faster, more efficient, of course, but there's still lots that we can learn from ourselves, and we can help ourselves grow. So if you're ever worried, as many people have been, because I know they message me and they tell me, I don't have a coach, or I don't have a good coach. Maybe their skill level is not as high as I want. You can still get a lot done. So I hope that helped put your mind at peace a little bit, gave you a couple of ways that you can continue your training without having somebody to be fully reliant on. And yeah, guys, I've done it, right? I have support. Obviously, I have people who come and corner me, but I've done it. I don't have a coach. I don't have somebody looking at my routine. I have to go do my sparring sessions by myself. I have to figure out how to make improvements by myself. And it is very, very feasible to do. All right, it's a viable option. Yes, I might be better with a coach, but things are going well. So just keep it rolling along. All right, that's it, guys. I'll see you back here very soon.